What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cali Current Podcast. It's your host, Grimace.
And your host, Ish, as well. How's everybody doing today?
We hope you're doing splendid and sitting back, relaxing, enjoying yourself. Or if you're at work enjoying it or doing something and just listening to us, I hope you're having a good time and having joyfulness in doing it. But today, the first topic I want to bring up is talking about our favorite basketball team, the number one team in our hearts and souls, the Los Angeles Lakers. As fans, during the Kobe era, we're like, I would say better, but basically it's like imagine being a person from Chicago while Michael Jordan is winning his rings. Well, that's us right here. Yeah. We're Kobe Bryant fans. I mean, Laker fans, seeing Kobe Bryant play live back in the day, R.I.P. Kobe, and, much respects to the family. But, yeah, we were Laker fans, during the Kobe era. Got to see that amazingness live and also on the TV live and all that. And now, reflecting back on it is good stuff. But, yeah, we want to talk about how they were sold. I remember on Thursday, the news first broke out where they were saying Jeannie Buss, the main person of the bus in charge of the
She's the governor
Lakers.
of the Lakers. That's what her official title is, meaning
the
that
governor.
She still makes very important decisions. Well, not only was she the main person in the Buss family, but she's going to remain as a 15% stakeholder and still also has a say as a vote for the committee in case there's a final decision made about, any type of change or any type of committee decision that's made. She put that in her contract because she and the family, the Buss family, sold the majority shares of the entire stock of the Lakers. But the family still owns 15%, which is a very minor stake.
That's a minor stake, but still 15%. That's still kind of a lot. That's more than 10. I mean, out here in Southern California, Santa Ana specifically, taxes are 10%. So that's a lot. So 10%, that's more than taxes. 15%, well, that extra 5%. That's not that bad, though, because at first I was thinking, okay, they sold the team for $10 billion. On Thursday, at first I heard Thursday, which was like about 4 days ago, I heard that they were shopping to sell the team. I was like, damn. And then the next day, the owner of the Dodgers, Bill Walters, is that his name?
Something like that.
Something Walters.
Mark Walter.
Mark Walter bought the team.
Well, he's not the main. He's the head of the collaborative corporation of investors that he works for. I don't remember what group it is, but he's the main guy that basically bought the main bulk of the stocks, and he's the president and or CEO of that organization, whatever the case is. I'm representing with Lakers colors right now, even though this is... Look, lately, for the last 20 years, I noticed that this was the old color, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that does look like Laker gold.
It's technically blue, but it's really purple in a way. It's purple and gold, I guess. But my point is that they're going to a lighter yellow all of a sudden. I don't like that lighter yellow tone.
All right.
But
yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. You're right.
You can categorize 15%. It's like when I go to any type of restaurant or any fast food or whatever. Well, mostly where you tip the servers. They call servers.
Oh, yeah.
It's got that correct. Servers. They're not waitresses anymore.
Waiters, waitresses.
Yeah. So the servers, if you tip a server, I always usually double the tax, which is usually 15%. That's how much of the stake that they kept, the Buss family, or I don't know what the case may be. But I myself, no matter what, if the service was bad or service was good, or just because I don't want to be too much of a D bag, I'll leave 15% at the very minimum for a tip. But yeah, 15% is the stake that they kept in the team.
Yeah, I mean, not to go off topic as far as tipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like to tip, me too, especially since, this pastor I listen to, he also, talk about tithing. So I like to tip. I like to consider like a part of the tithe, especially in my church. It says, don't give the church 10%, give 5%, and then the other 5% you go give it to, those in need. So when I tip, I consider it part of a tithe. So I like to be a little bit more generous. But as a rule of thumb, I usually, just to make math easier for me, I guess, I just do 10%. But you double the taxes? I never thought about that.
Well, it's better than, because, automatically everybody needs a tip now. It doesn't matter if you're just buying a stick of gum. They already want a tip from you. There's always a tip jar everywhere you go. But I only and not to, because I'm not trying to make this about tipping,
Uh,
but I only usually
yeah.
tip my barber. I only usually tip servers at restaurants. And once in a blue moon, if I ever take my car, I mean, I wash my car now because it's so easy to go through a drive-through car wash and you do all the work because
Oh yeah.
you're paying a monthly fee because it's a membership fee. I used to tip a lot all the people that used to drive my car from car washes, and that's the only people that I usually tip all the time. And not, I mean, I try to be as generous as possible, but and the only reason I do it is because I don't work for my tips because I drive for the big rideshare companies, as everybody knows by now. But I don't expect a tip ever, and sometimes it's like I don't get tips at all, and it sucks.
You know, one thing I did notice though, I mean, we're kind of going into tipping, but one thing I did notice, which it kind of bothered me a little bit. I mean, it's nothing, but it did bother me. When I was looking at the bill at a restaurant, they include because you know how they give you suggestive, sometimes they'll say 15% tip, and they give you an amount, 18% tip, and then 20% tip. And then I did the math to see if they're including taxes.
Or a service fee. There's usually now a service fee, especially like if you go to like
service
a
fee?
Mexican restaurant. They'll take a certain amount if you use your card. If you, they'll take like 2 or 3% of the total amount as a service fee because they don't want to pay the ATM fees that include the POS. Point of sale.
At my work, so at first time I was asking the boss like, "Hey, are we gonna put the service fee on them?" He's like, "No, it's don't pass it on to the customer." But yeah, the merchant, the credit card company, they give it to the business. So yeah, a lot of businesses they pass it on to the customer too, and it's kind of like,
well, it's a new thing now. So we're getting taxed for everything, and everybody has their hand out, so to speak. That everybody wants a tip for just for them doing their job. I never tip baristas either. By the way, I don't know if that's a bad move on my end, but I don't tip baristas at any type of coffee house because they're doing their job. I don't ask for tips, but I don't require people to give me tips because I'm doing my job.
I mean, I give them $1, honestly. Like the way I see it is kind of like a bartender. I just give them $1. Like at a bar, sometimes when I'm a little faded, I'll give them $2 per drink. But no, for me, at least $1. Because like you said, it's their job. But
it sounds bad, but it's like servers go above and beyond. They're nice to you. Sometimes, they could be in a bad mood or whatever the case is, and I get it. We're all human. We're all going through something sometime.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about tips. We're just making it a point that 15% is what 15%. They kept. But the only reason why I sort of don't like that they sold the team is because they sold it to the team that I don't care for.
Yeah.
Because they already have a lot of money, as it were. And look, more praise to them. I'm not denying what they are or who they are, the group or whoever they have the money for that. But I mean, come on, really? They gave $1 million to the cause of what's happening right now in the entire U.S. with the
Dodgers, right?
Yeah, because they turned away the whatever ICE and the police that wanted to stage themselves on the whatever Chavez Ravine or Dodger Stadium or whatever the case is, because from there they were going to use it as a point so they can start questioning people in the parking lot. And a private business has a right to say no to these public entities that want to come in there and do something that they're not supposed to be doing. But $1 million, really, all the money in the world they have, they could have at least given up at least 10 at the very, very most.
So basically what Ishmael's referring to, for those who are not might be caught up, so the owner or the Mark Walter guy, he bought the Lakers. He's also the majority owner, I think, of the Dodgers.
Group, and I'm talking about the group, not him, but the group in itself.
Yeah, the group, but he's kind of the face
organization
of the
Dodgers.
Yeah, so the face of the organization that owns the Dodgers is the one that bought the Lakers for $10 billion. And like he was saying, we don't really care for the Dodgers. I mean, we're hardcore Angel fans.
Yeah.
We respect the Dodgers, but as of right now, we did win the Freeway Series, the first half of it. I think there's going to be a second part towards the end of the season coming up.
Well, next week.
Oh, next week?
So it's usually the Freeway Series are on the 4th of July weekend.
Oh, yeah. So they're probably going to come back for revenge. But
the point is, it's like he literally, I mean, look, and everybody to each their own, whatever. It's a private entity, private organization. They gave $1 million and they literally just bought a team for $10 billion. $1 million is 1%. I get it.
That's a lot of money still,
but
though.
It's their money. I get it.
Yeah.
But $1 million from a big organization that has hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, whatever,
true.
if it would have been a private person, I would have more respect for the person because it's their money. They're giving up all this money that they don't have to give. But it's an organization.
So it's a
what I mean?
group. Oh, I see what you
But
mean.
the thing is, they gave it for the cause, yes. But $1 million
Yeah.
is really nothing, actually. It's like Michael Jordan, giving $10,000 to a youth organization. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that these people are cheap. I'm saying that they could have offered a little bit more than $1 million. That's my point.
I mean, $1 million is a hefty amount.
Well, for some organization like that literally just bought a team for $10 billion, that's not even a drop in the bucket. That's like one speck of sand and throwing it into the ocean, where you go to the beach and there's billions and billions of specks of sand, But that's just my opinion about it.
Well, according to ESPN.com and TalkSport.com, it's the most expensive U.S. sports franchise sale ever, topping the Celtics. The Celtics were sold earlier this year for $6.1 billion, so the Lakers were sold for $10 billion. See, the thing that kind of makes me like wonder what this is about, like, okay, when you have that much money, like the Bus family or Genie Bus, which I'm pretty sure it was a family decision, they're not gonna sell the Lakers for the money. I'm pretty sure they're well off. Money was not the thing, so I think they probably sold it because I remember towards the end when Kobe was still playing.
Peace of mind. They sold it for peace of mind.
Oh, peace of mind. Yeah,
but look, okay, well, if nobody knows this, I mean, if you don't watch, I have Max, and on Max there was Winning Time. That sort of details a little bit. Yeah,
I like that show.
It's an opinion based.
Yeah,
because it was a book.
They embellish a lot. Of course,
because it's for entertainment purposes.
For entertainment,
we don't embellish, but we try to entertain as best as possible.
We try to entertain and give you statistics and
actually.
inform you.
We don't try. We just do it, okay?
Yes, sir.
So the point is that it's for the fact that the Lakers, they were sold for $10 billion, and they didn't even sell the whole team. They probably could have gotten 15 at the very, very most.
They sold 85% of the team.
Let me say it again. The bad Clippers, because the team owner back in the day was forced to sell the team, and they sold at $2 billion. And
because he was a racist.
They're like one of the worst franchises in entire sports history.
Because
and they sold for $2 million.
Yeah, but
that's $2 billion. I mean,
but they were sold because intentionally. First of all, I mean, he was a racist. I mean, not to say that racists are bad at managing or stuff.
Well, it doesn't matter. Our president is racist, and he's still the president, and we allowed him to be the president according to our constitutional laws. But whatever.
Yeah. Well,
but for other reasons, not because he's a racist, but because he was a convicted felon.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, what intrigues me is that why would they? Oh, because you said because of peace of mind. Because they didn't need the money. I mean, when you're selling a team for $10 billion, $10 billion is a lot. I mean, the Bus family could do. I mean, there's countries that are worth less. Yeah, there's countries out there that are worth less than $1 billion, let alone $10 billion. So they didn't sell it for the money. And then I think, like you said, for peace of mind. Because I remember towards the end of Kobe's career, like, he was frustrated. They couldn't build a team around him. Mind you, they got to pay him because, he's worth the money. But they couldn't put the pieces of the puzzle together. So, and in essence, I think Kobe even retired early because he didn't want to play for another team.
It's not that they couldn't. It's that they refused to do so because back then the brother was in charge. And I forget his name.
That's right.
And it wasn't Genie. But
yeah.
But a lot of people are discounting the Lakers when they won their 2020 championship because, according to you, they won it in the bubble, which they did.
A lot of people like to put an asterisk on it that we won it in the bubble.
If that
is the coronavirus bubble, that is.
If that is the case, then the Dodgers also should have not. I mean, they should be discounted for that year that they won the World Series.
So in the COVID bubble, all the LA teams won?
Basically, yeah, because the Rams won the year after. The season was already over for the COVID.
But
they won the following season. They won in 21.
That's a trip. I mean, and now look at all the...
It can happen.
And now look at all the drama going down around here in Southern California with the protest, the immigration issue and all that. It's interesting. I mean, honestly, Southern California or California itself, we have one of the best... I remember seeing, I forgot what news information brought it to me. We have the 4th largest economy. So if we were our own country,
the 4th biggest GDP, gross domestic product.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, we just literally surpassed Japan, I think, about a month ago.
I heard something about that.
Yeah, so the point is that we here in our coming. Well, whatever happens, whatever the president is doing right now to what's happening in LA. he's not allowed. He's not allowed to bypass the governor for bringing in the National Guard, and he's the one that's kept keeping the troops out in L.A. And I'm talking about the National Guard and the Marines that came up from Camp Pendleton to technically safeguard the federal buildings around L.A. But they're not necessary because there's no civil unrest or whatever. There's nothing that's going on. But he basically presented this extreme set of circumstances that aren't there because it's all a lie. Everything he says that basically that comes out of his mouth is non-factual. He just says things because that's the way that all these people that are for him will believe everything he says. But that's the thing. It's all not real. And my point is that that's why we supposedly he wants to use the Insurrection Act. Eventually, he might use that to his advantage so he can nationalize the National Guard in every state. But that's just hearsay, and that's just the way he wants to put it forward. Point is that nothing's happening. We live in Santa Ana. Yeah, people are getting abducted off the streets, and that's what they are.
Oh, yeah,
they're being
crazy.
abducted. They're literally being raptured, taken off the streets, and who knows where.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And
I mean,
that shouldn't be allowed.
I'm not trying to get political, like you said, but normally I back up, like, we're Americans, so I try to back up our leaders and put them in the best light. But yeah, I mean, you're right, man. It sucks, but he has been caught in some lies. I think even the leader, president, dictator, whatever it is from Africa was saying, like, nah, the U.S. president is lying. We don't have, like, our their white farmers or Caucasian farmers are not under distress, but he was importing them as refugees. I was like, damn, that's crazy. At least that's what the African leader president said.
And not to
damn.
like we mentioned, we don't talk about politics, but not to talk about politics.
Yeah.
But he's basically the president is trying to repatronize. Sorry, is that the right word? Repatronize the entire U.S. with Anglo people, white people, basically. That's why he's trying to get rid of all the, I guess, brown people, because he's trying to repatronize the entire U.S. with Anglo white people. That's just the way it's being classified by the media. Now, it's not my term. It's the term they use. But moving on, since we don't talk about politics.
We're not trying to be in there.
We're trying to give awareness to what's happening here in L.A. We don't see things, but we do. I mean, I guess everybody has their phone. But don't believe everything you read in the news either. Especially don't believe what's coming out from the actual, what's it called? I forgot.
The news?
Every time I say it and I pray and I know exactly what the word is, it's not the news. But, from certain news stations, yes. But from not the government, but from the administration. Don't believe everything they put out there because it may not be real.
Yeah, just make sure to do your homework and stuff.
Yeah.
But
make sure you do your research.
Yeah, so for a little bit more information, statistics, I mean, Mark Walter, he also owns the Dodgers, the Los Angeles Sparks. That's the WNBA, the women's basketball team from Los Angeles.
Chelsea soccer team.
Chelsea
football.
Soccer, yeah, the Football European League. So that he's
and
building
hockey, the women's hockey, and I think another.
Damn.
I don't know what a hockey team either, but I think he owns quite a lot.
Yeah, so he's building a sports empire. Damn, that's I'm gonna try to read his bibliography if he has one or documentary. Man, this guy has acquired a couple assets.
You know the owner of the Rams. I forgot his name because I'm forgetting things left and right. It's funny that I'm forgetting, and we're gonna talk about that one day about what the possible reasons why you forget certain things. Because it's happening to me a lot. I'm learning new names because I used to be bad with learning names. Especially in my early 20s, I went to clubs. I never remembered anybody's name, especially if it was a cute girl that I was really into.
Oh, that's kind of hard.
But now it's like I'm forgetting like useless information about daily things, but I'm using that memory space to remember the kids' names that I work with. And it's easier for me to remember names now for some reason when it wasn't easier for me 20, 30 years ago. So the owner of the Rams, who's also the owner of the Denver Nuggets, I forgot his name. But he's the only owner in sports franchise history to win championships all across all the teams that he's ever owned.
Damn.
Yeah, I forgot his name. I'm sorry to say.
Well, and also the NBA just linked a record $77 billion media deal. So the investment for that Walter guy makes sense because the NBA, they're going to start doing some crazy media stuff too. And that's according to FT.com. FT.com. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds legit. But anyways, the biggest takeaway from that is the Lakers. when they were first purchased in 1979, when Jerry Buss bought them for $67.5 million. And from 1979 when he purchased them to now, $10 billion. That's one crazy investment.
And all that information is sort of detailed in the, not because I'm promoting the show or anything, Winning Time on Max.
Oh, it's a good show. It's entertaining. It's really entertaining.
So watch that show and you'll know exactly what I mean, because it sort of shows in a way how he went about purchasing the team, because he did get a loan also from the previous owner of the Clippers. I forgot his name. They're really good friends.
But have your parental consent, or make sure your parents allow you to watch that, because it's they show a lot of
rated R, actually.
Yeah, it's rated R. So if
a lot of nudity, a lot of bad words.
Yeah, a lot of bad words. So if you're under 18,
drug use sometimes,
you probably shouldn't watch that, or tell your parents to watch it with you. That way they could fast forward.
Well, it's funny. Just to give a little insight, a little tidbit, I guess.
Yeah.
The owner, Jerry Buss, he was a chemist, and he made his fortune.
He was a chemist. Oh, that's
right.
Yeah,
he made his fortune on real estate. But
I heard that.
The reason why he bought the Lakers is because his friend Donald Sterling back in the day.
That guy's racist. He's the owner of the Clippers.
He used to be. He recommended him buy the Lakers because the Lakers were for sale, but he didn't have the money. So Donald Sterling loaned him some of the money so he can actually make the purchase.
Whoa.
Like I said, it's all detailed on the show.
And Winning Time? Oh, damn.
Yeah, but the Buss family discredits that show because they say it's a lot of lies, which is fine because it's for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, they embellish a lot. Yeah.
There's also a special on I don't remember what, I think it's Netflix, where they I don't remember the name of the special, that they basically confirm and corroborate a lot of the things that were missed by the show because they're trying to make sure that the facts get straight.
So let's talk about insider knowledge now. We do daily jobs that most people don't know. Like, I work in mechanics, and for me, I barely, to me, I sometimes I forget that people barely know that their cars need oil and stuff. But to me, obviously, because I'm a mechanic, a smog technician, to me, everything's like, all right, I already know. But a lot of times I assume people know these things, and a lot of times people come in and I was like, man, you almost blew up your engine. Your vehicle was going to, blow up. Not blow up, but you're about to need to buy a new engine, and new engines cost anywhere between $3,000 to $8,000, depending what kind of car you have. And they don't put oil in it. I'm like, my goodness, you got to check your oil. You got to check. But that's just the insider information that I have, which I got to remember. People don't always know that. I mean, I'm guessing you seem to know more or less a good stuff about cars.
A little bit. Well, I'm guilty of what you just mentioned because honestly, that about a month ago, I was going through that. I had no engine in my oil. Sorry, let me say it again. No oil in my engine. And it was making this weird gurgling noise or whatever the case is. And it's like, what the heck is happening? I've never had that noise. I thought it was due to me putting this cheaper gas. I usually go to Arco or to something of the nature where it's cheaper, yes, but it's not the cheapest gas. There's cheaper gas out there. But I thought it was due to that. I'm like, well, I just literally put additives about 3 months ago, so that can't be the problem. And I was thinking, it's due to the watered down gas. Everything's getting watered down. I noticed that when I did put that gas, I was getting less miles per gallon. But I almost blew up my engine because if I didn't correlate what was happening, I would have just let the engine basically blow up. So yeah, I could say that I know a little bit more, but at the same time, I let it go because sometimes we don't even think about those things.
Yeah, so those are little things I take for granted, like that. To me, it's second nature. Check my vehicle. This every now and then, I'll even check. Let me check my tire pressure. Let me check the filters. But that's because I do it on the daily basis. So that it's one thing that I'm appreciative to have. Work in that industry.
Well, you'd be surprised too because people don't know how to change their own tire.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in general, anybody that I see, I guess that's why people have AAA.
Yeah,
and they have their roadside assistants come out and do it for them.
Yeah, so you just pay a fee, and then that's kind of things work though. If you pay a fee, then someone else will take care of it. Like back when I used to sell insurance and I would sell retirement plans. So yeah, you could pay someone like a professional to come and manage your okay, you gotta save money here, you gotta do this. But if you have that insider information, now I know okay. It's good to have an investment account or an individual retirement account, which is called the IRA for short. and then put money in there. But that's also some insider information that I have. Like you have insider information working with the children, right? With like the teacher's tutor.
Yeah, well, I'm more of an observer. I observe a lot of things. I've been observing people since I was 3 years old. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before.
Damn.
But I know what type of, and not because I'm a certified clinician or there's different terms nowadays. I don't have my degree. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist either. It's just by observing certain behaviors, I know right away what type of, I guess, situations these children might be in, or not situations, but these type of conditions they may have. And not because I want to, I guess criticize is not, that's a very, very strong word. I would say marginalize. That's the word of the day. Marginalize. So let's spell it M-A-R-G, margin, A-I-N-A-L-I-Z-E-D. Yeah, there we go.
Marginalized.
Marginalize, not marginalize. Eyes is in the past with a D in the end. But marginalize. We try not to marginalize these children, but we already know what the condition is that they basically set forth. Because I could easily say this person has ADD. I'm talking about the children, the kids.
Oh, yeah.
This person has ADHD. And I'm just going to say that sometimes, and I don't want to get too much into it, but sometimes parents don't care what the kids have. And they try to play it off that they have something worse because they're trying to get a certain condition marginalized on them through their own parents. And this is the parents doing this, that they want these kids to be classified as certain category because they want to get money from the state for that person, for their children. In other words, there's this one student that I work with that has ADHD, but he doesn't have anything more than that. He's very smart. He's actually basically normal. The only thing is that he has ADHD. He can't sit still for more than 10 seconds or whatever the case may be. And then, he's a very rude boy, but
oh, wow.
His parent wants to classify him as being severely autistic, which he's not. So my point is that she's trying to do that so she can get money from the state.
Is ADHD the same thing that in the movie? I mean, I know it's a fictional movie. That's the movie The Accountant. Is that what he had, ADHD? Or that's ADD?
No, he does. It's a little bit of both, but he mostly had mild, not too severe autism, but he did have ADHD because he couldn't sit still. But he had in the movie, the first one at least, which sort of it could possibly be cured or it could possibly be controlled, but it could never be 100% eradicated. It's I guess it's autism mostly because it's a genius. There some of these children are geniuses, even though they have this type of autism or any type of condition that they can't control because they were born with it. But he does have ADHD for the movie, but it's mostly autism because of the way that he can't control certain behaviors.
So that's pretty cool that you could pick up on things. And yeah, there's been things that you helped me realize, like some issues where you put the pieces to the puzzle together for me. I'm like, damn, I never saw it from that angle. You're right. So that observer thing is like an insider information you got, or an insider skill.
To think outside the box mainly because you don't want to be inside the box looking at the world from the outside. From the inside looking at the world out there. Sometimes you have to put yourself out there to see what's going on inside.
Which is true. I mean, I think teachers and tutors alike, they have to observe and, view the children or kids' learning process and, observe them. So yeah, as you're saying, you observe them and you're able to pick up on these things. I never thought about that teachers do that. What about what are we going to say?
No. Sorry. It was because, I grew up with it because there was this kid that everybody picked on and I feel bad for the kid. I mean, we got to be really good friends, and me and my brother and his brother too. I mean, I wish I could say their names, but I don't even know if this person's still around.
Oh, damn.
I mean, he might recognize me eventually if I ever see him too, because he was a good kid. It's just he got picked on a lot by the older kids, not by the older kids, but the kids that were normal, because he did have ADHD and he did have mild autism, but he was a smart kid. It's just that's the problem that we have as a society and or as human nature, is that we want to marginalize, and that's the word of the day right there, other children because they're not normal like us, that they don't act like us, or they don't have the same mannerisms as us, or we just see them as slightly different, and that's the issue that we have, that we marginalize them by just, judging them at face value.
What about as a Uber driver, Lyft driver? What insider information you got right there? Anything, or that's just? I had an uncle that would drive an Uber drive too. I just saw him earlier today.
Well, the people that walk into the car, especially a lot of females, and I don't blame them because everybody, it has to be a little weary. They don't, I guess I don't know if they don't feel the vibe, but I do. Right away when I know that somebody's very quiet, or if they're technically trying to record me because they're trying to catch me doing something, I get it. A lot of females get in my car and they think that I'm gonna be like, harassing them or something, but I'm not like that at all or whatever. If in turn they could harass me, and I won't say anything about it because I'm not trying to pay attention to them. I could just ignore them and that'll be the end of that. But yeah, I mean, you'll know right away when somebody's on drugs, when somebody, wants to be a total D-bag, or somebody wants to be a B-I, what it ends with CH, and stuff like that, But what can I say? I mean, I know right away when people, I pick up on their vibes, I guess, and right away. It's just a lot of drivers are the same way too, and I get that from a lot of people. We're like, oh, usually it's quiet, but it's sometimes I get it's good to talk to the drivers sometimes, but it just depends. I mean, it depends on the mood too, and if it's a hot day, everybody might be bothered or whatever. It just depends on the mood.
That's pretty cool. I mean, and then you drive a lot too, so you probably know like how to move around the traffic fast. Do you always give the best directions, the Google and the Waymo?
It's funny.
Or
well, lately I've been getting people where they want to tell me not how to drive, but what directions to go. And I hate driving down the streets on a long 5-6 mile trip, because all I'm going to do is get the red lights, even though it's a straight path. It's like people want to act like they know better than you, and that's the issue, And I'm like, I don't like driving on the streets all the time. I hate it. I hate the stops. I hate to stop and go. Use more gas. I get not impatient, but I get a little bit testy because I don't like waiting for the lights at all. And it's like I'm wasting 2 or 3 minutes where I could usually get there and make another ride within the next, 5-hour time frame. I get 3 or 4 extra rides with those minutes that I'm losing.
Yeah, so
not everybody's the best judge of character. Yeah, everybody wants to have their input, but
yeah.
If I don't do their way, then I might get some, strong feedback or something. And sometimes they'll make me look out to be like I'm very controlling, and I'm not. I'm like, who's a professional here? I'm the one that's driving you. You're not the one that's driving me.
Yeah, I mean, I seen your car. The good thing is you have cameras all around, so they can't claim nothing, and that's a good thing too, because I've seen some Uber driver videos where the customers are being like, what do you call it, too much. Like the lady's like claiming like, no, like the driver was doing this, and then the driver's like, dude, he even uploaded the video on camera, and you could totally tell that the passenger or the customer was like just being too much.
The rider.
Yeah, the rider.
Sometimes they'll be overbearing, but I just learned to just stay quiet. And well, okay, I'm gonna give a great example actually, not because we want to talk about Uber stories or anything like that, or Lyft stories. But for the other day, I picked up this lady about a week and a half ago, and it was a warm day. It was hot, like actually really hot. It was about 100 degrees. I get there. Okay, first of all, I dislike when I go pick up a rider. They're not ready. They make me wait 5-7 minutes, and I basically warn them, look, if you're not out by the time my timer here expires, I'm leaving.
Yeah, that's happened.
And that's the only way I rush them.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
If not, that says your Uber driver is going to leave or Lyft.
And just a quick lesson to everybody. If you're not ready for that ride, don't summons it and then make them wait 7 minutes. That's unfair because you guys are not ready. Make sure you guys are ready, please, because you're not going to always get somebody like me that I have patience. Most people will leave within the first 2 minutes of waiting for you. So if you don't want to learn the hard way, you're going to learn the hard way. But don't do it to drivers because our time is very valuable. Yes, there's a lot of greedy drivers. I'm not a greedy one, but I'll just wait there for my required time and then leave. So she got upset that my car has seat covers, but then there was a dark stain. Whatever, everything gets stained. It's not dirty, but it's stained, right?
Yeah.
And she criticized me. Oh, why is your seat dirty? Can I have napkins? Can I please, I'm not gonna sit in your car. I'm like, the first thing I wanted to say to her
Wow.
was like, lady, it's not a brand new car, but I didn't say that. I
Yeah.
held my tongue.
It's like if you wanted a top luxury. First of all, if she wanted a top luxury car, I know
She could pay
Lyft.
extra for it.
Yeah, Uber XL or Lyft
Black.
Premium. Yeah, they give you that extra premium car. If you want to save some cash, then you just get the whatever car. I mean, sometimes, if I'm with a date or whatever and I want to, make it look good, then yeah, I'll go for the premium car. But if I'm just trying to save cash, just get from A to B, then I just go for the basic economy one. And yeah, if it has like a stain here and there, I mean, as long as it's not like, staining me, it's fine. Which, I mean, a stain is a stain. Sometimes you can't get stains out.
But I'm like, lady, it's not dirty. It's just a stain. I just said that nicely. But then I gave her like 4 or 5 napkins and she sat down and I'm like, she didn't throw her napkins away. She left them there for me to throw away. I mean, and like 2 or 3 days after that.
Damn, man, she left trash. Wow.
2 or 3 days after that, there was another lady. She was, I don't know what she was, Arabic or something. I don't know from what country. I'm not a good judge.
Arabia.
Yeah. And she's like, right away, as soon as she steps in, she's like, you should buy a new car. I'm like, what? I'm like, I should buy a new car. And she's like,
Wow.
oh, yeah, my husband doesn't let me drive because, he says it's too dangerous. And, yeah, I usually get picked up all these luxury cars. But she literally called me out of my car because she didn't like the way it looked outside because the paint's already peeling, the clear coat and all that. She's like, oh, you should buy a new car. Like, right off the bat, she's like, okay, lady, come on. I don't have thousands of dollars to buy a new car whenever you want me to. In my head, but I didn't say anything to her. I was just trying to make conversation.
Yeah, so whether it's your mechanic, your tutor, your driver, we're dropping all this knowledge, of letting you know what the type of stuff a lot of consumers miss. And, today is the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. Time to soak it up. I mean, if you're watching today, I'm pretty sure you're watching within, at least a week's time that we're filming this. So, starting today, now we're going to start getting less and less sunlight each day. But today was the most sunlight. In some states, they even got like 15 hours of sunlight. I mean, out of 24, 15, what is that? 6 hours? 9. 9 hours of nighttime, 15 hours of the day. That's not bad.
The sun's going to go down everywhere around 9 p.m., closer to that.
Yeah, so in LA, the sunset was at 7:42, adding about 4.5 hours more of daylight compared to the winter. So, yeah, if you want to do anything, like the beach, you want to get more work done, some gardening, some landscaping, the summertime, you know what it is. It's always good to do it over here.
Well, I'm going to go out there and drive tonight, and I'm going to make sure that hopefully it's not going to be, I mean, it's not that bad actually here in SoCal today. It's pretty nice weather actually. It doesn't seem like the first day of the summer because it's literally like feels like spring weather outside because we're shooting right now during the day, and then there was going to be a big difference if it's really super hot where we just have to have all kinds of things going on right now. But it doesn't feel that bad actually. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's the longest day of the year, but it's not the hottest day. That comes later due to seasonal lag, according to the WashingtonPost.com.
Well, let's be real. It's not seasonal lag. It's called greenhouse effect. It's called whatever everybody wants to classify it as. So I don't know what everybody wants to call it. Polar ice caps melting, whatever the case may be. Climate change. There's so many terms to it. And, only just go enjoy the weather. It's the first day of summer. It's the first day to enjoy, that brand new 2-piece that you have. Or if you love one pieces, if you're being old school, you love one pieces. Hey, I remember in the 90s, those one pieces, they weren't that great to look at, but it just depends on the woman that was wearing it. But at the same time, I think everybody looks great nowadays. So it doesn't matter if you have a 2-piece, 1-piece, or if you just want to go out there with a T-shirt and jean shorts, cutoffs or whatever, and enjoy the hot pool or, the beach inside the water, Pacific Ocean, whatever ocean you're in, Atlantic. It depends where you are around the world. To enjoy the water, the weather.
Yeah, and another day today is also National Dashin' Day. So they put the longest day of the year also with the longest dog of the year. The longest dogs. So this Oreo, my Dashin' mix. I just woke her up right now. She's kind of tired, so she's being lazy right now.
Yeah, Mama. She's such an adorable little girl. Yes, she is. This is Oreo, everybody. Yeah, like the cookie. You're so beautiful. She's gonna lick me now. But yeah, but the other one's a little spicier. Her name, and this is Geminez, Golden Geminez right here, if everybody can see.
That's golden Geminus, and
And
here's
this is
original
Oreo.
Geminus. Geminus is more
Oreo,
of a real
Geminez.
Dachshund. Oreo is a mix, more of a mix. She's more original, as you can see.
Yeah.
She looks a little stage fright. She's not used
It's
to being with
okay.
people.
She doesn't like, she's always staying away from everything. Okay, Oreo, time to get down, mamas.
But yeah, we want to spotlight them. National Dachshund Day, Dachshund Dog Day. So if you like them hot dogs, today's the day to get a hot dog or a Dachshund dog.
And thank you very much for also being here at the Cali Current Podcast. We do appreciate you. I know you might not be able to see me because over here, Oreo, and I can't be away from the mic.
She's shaking her booty. Baila la Rocky.
So hopefully everything won't be all distorted. But thank you very much for being here. We do appreciate you. Don't forget to appreciate your dogs every single day. Appreciate life. Appreciate the weather. And every single day for waking up and being blessed.
Yeah, so peace out, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Take care.